Great life, great now, beautiful Vibrillionaire soul family. Coming on really briefly to share something that I have no idea where this is going to go. I just sat and wrote after I don't know how many hour meditation, and I was inspired to share this message because as a human society, we we collectively, complain, criticize, judge, and everything of that nature of what's going wrong with the world, and we're waiting for something or someone to change. Whether it's our partner, our children, our boss, our employees, or society in general. The government needs to change, and these people need to change. And we continue to use our energy, our precious consciousness, to focus on the outside. And the title of this live is "I'm Dying to Resurrect in 3 days." And before I continue this message, I would love to remind people that one of the greatest teachers and instruments in the examples of love, God consciousness, said, "Ye all can do these things and greater in my Father's name." The I am, that I am. So with the I am, with the I of the I am, there's nothing you can't be, do, or have. And the beautiful secret is you can do it and have it right now. You don't need to physically have it. You can feel it right here, right now. So that being said, is the word death has such a sharp, poignant blade of penetration that it could either free us or it can hinder us. And for so many, the fear of death is the fear of transformation. Yet without death, we cannot have life. And the intention of this message is to share and inspire you watching this video to take 10 to 15 minutes every day. That's it. 10 to 15 minutes. If you can do more, great. But 10 to 15 minutes, turn off your phones, turn off your devices, turn off the external world, turn off everyone and everything that you think you know. Now, I know for a lot that's going to be challenging, but this is why I'm going to invite you to reach out to my wife during these 3 days that I'm going to be totally off, or set up a calendar for next week, or whatever time is convenient for you. The point of this message is that we update our phones every night. We even do automatic updates. We put our computers to rest. We reboot our devices because we know if we continue to use them and use them and use them and use them, they're not gonna last us very long. And then our vehicles, we change the oil, we check the fluids, we check the tires, we check the brakes, all these different things we give so much importance because we know if these things are compromised, our life is compromised. And those that are with us in that vehicle, our family, our children, our partner, our friends, are very precious and dear to us. So we make sure that our vehicles are taken care of so that we can care for them. And also when we're driving, we make sure to, follow the stop signs, the traffic lights, and, be conscious of who's in front of us and who's beside us and who's behind us. So we give so much importance to this reality. Yet the cause of all mental, physical, and spiritual dis-ease, unease, stress, anxiety, worry, fear, doubt, imbalance, aka sickness, we give less priority to of ourselves. And then we wonder why the world feels like it's falling apart. So this is to inspire you and to remind you and to mirror to you the device, the technology, the gift that you are. Because if we don't realize the gift that we are, we're always going to be looking outside of us. and to remind you of the greatest treasure, the greatest gift, the greatest technology is your consciousness. What is your relationship with your consciousness? And how do you treat that relationship? Do you treat your devices better than you treat yourself? Do you love your technology? Do you invest in your technology more than you invest in yourself? Because the greatest riches is you. You cannot experience the greatest riches of anyone or anything outside you if you do not, when you do not honor and love and cherish the technology and the love and the gift that you are. You're only going to experience temporary moments of those things that you experience outside of yourself, because nothing can fulfill you. Nothing can free you. Nothing can reveal the love that you are besides the consciousness that you are. So I'm going to be disconnecting for 3 days. I'm going to die for 3 days completely. No TV, no media, no text, no nothing. I will have my emergency open for my wife and her son and my mother. That's about it. But I will not communicate with them. It'll be for emergency only. So if you're listening to this, it'll be for emergencies only. And the reason why is because you don't have to go to a desert like the ancient sages and wisdom keepers did, the elders. You don't have to go to a desert anymore. Your desert can be your sanctuary, your bedroom, your meditation room. That is your desert. And why go to a desert? Because in a desert, you don't have people to talk to. You don't have anything to distract you. The animals you can't speak to, because when you're not knowing what language, you cannot speak to the animals. So it's so important to disconnect, because there's an energy, there's an abundance of consciousness showering through. Then when we don't take the time to upgrade our software, to update our system, and I'm even going to say to obliterate and annihilate our hardware, because yes, you can obliterate and annihilate your hardware and tune into the hardware that's designed by the higher consciousness. There's a hardware that is much more incredible, much more great than this hardware, than this whole system that you think you are. So I've done silence and stillness. I've done, letting go before. But I don't even know how to explain it. The levels of consciousness that we are meant to tap into and that we are is beyond our wildest, incredible, ascended imaginations, thoughts, perspectives, and beliefs. So whatever you think that is, I encourage you to die to it. Also, the great teacher said, renew your mind daily. It wasn't just a cliche. It wasn't just a quote. It wasn't just something to entertain the ego mind with. It was something to live by. Die to be born again. The kingdom of heaven is within. And Buddha said, question everything. Let go of everything that you think you know. One of the greatest hindrances of humankind, and I'll be doing a video on this, is the difference between two people that did the same work, but one stopped short. Rene Descartes went into the deepest of his consciousness, but he stopped at thought. And this is why where we are today is we're so focused on thought that we neglect so much the feeling of the awareness of who we are. So Rene Descartes went in deep. So deep. And as he went to that depth, he discovered, he discovered an adversary, an enemy. And this is where the matrix was created. This is where the devil and the demons and all that were fabricated, because he stopped short where he had to face the very structure that he felt was against him. And that's the governor. That's the brain. See, the brain is only meant to self-preserve. It does not want to discover who it is, because once it discovers who it is, it's the servant. It's no longer the master. Yet Buddha, and get this really, really, I invite you to get this really, really deeply, he was destined to be king of a kingdom. Riches beyond most people's wildest imagination. He left that to go deep within his consciousness because he wanted to question the reality of what he was living. And in leaving the kingdom, he found the greatest kingdom on earth, which is the kingdom within. So, let me see. How did I do this last time? I forgot how I did this. Okay, here we go. So he left the earthly kingdom. He left the earthly kingdom. There we go. Oh, why did my microphone go off? Okay, that was weird. Oh, because Siri came on. Shoot. Okay, so you guys missed that. So I'll go back just a little bit. Um, and Instagram, if you want to, if you could be patient, I'm gonna go through with what I said because Facebook and YouTube got frozen. So we have the greatest technology. We already are that. And Rene Descartes stopped short from where Buddha went deeper. See, Buddha went to the deepest of his being. And I forgot, this also was inspired because I started watching the movie Oppenheimer. And I started watching the movie Oppenheimer. And this guy is the one that created the nuclear bomb, the atom bomb. But I invite you to go watch that movie. And he's tuning into levels of energy and fields of awareness that he has other experts to help him with that energy, but yet they're coming from a physical standpoint. So the physical standpoint is only what can we create in the physical. So they create an atom bomb. But because those that are being funded are only being funded to create something that is beneficial to the investors. So my point to you is this. And when I was watching that movie, the atom bomb is where all the energy, like, because what they were doing, they were reflecting on the sun. This is what the inspiration of the atom bomb is. And they were saying that the sun's gravity is constantly causing it to go in. But at the same, the force of the sun, of the explosion is going out. So the sun is beaming out. But one day it's going to go out of, it's going to run out of its source. So at least that's what we're told. Because everything is temporary in this physical world. So when it's going in, the gravity makes it denser and 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 denser. Then when it goes to the density of what it can no longer go anymore, it implodes on itself, and that's what causes it to be more powerful than a million suns. And that is just a figure of speech. So the atom bomb is an atom spliced in itself. So, excuse me. So you are created with so much energy that when you look outside of yourself, you're just a sun shining. But when you implode that sun on itself, this is self-realization. So I watched it to maybe 10 minutes, and I went into meditation. And let me just say that this inspired this video for me to just disconnect completely, because I'm going to do the same thing with myself. I'm going to implode, 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 implode. All the identities, all the thoughts, all the concepts, all the perspectives, all the belief systems, no matter how ascended or spiritual they are, implode, 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 implode. And this is why very rare souls were self-realized. Because all those identities are like energy that you're putting out. Now, that doesn't mean you can't do what you do. But if you don't know who you are in doing it, you're always going to be at the mercy, what people call victim consciousness, of other people. And the world is going to dominate, dictate, and run your consciousness. It's going to tell you how to think. It's going to tell you how to feel. It's going to tell you how to live and believe. And that's why so many wars. So thank you, everyone, for showing up. I invite you to die to what you think you are. 10, 15 minutes a day. 10, 15 minutes a day. Die to who you think you are, because you are not that. No matter how much you've attained, no matter how much you've accomplished, you're still not happy. You still don't feel fulfilled. And no matter how much you've pushed away, whether you live on the streets or whether you're depressed in a corner of your home, or whether you put a smile on your face, but you know you're not happy. This is why. So you can either push everything away or you can chase everything away. None of those work, because you're still outside of yourself. If you would like support, we're here. Whether you have nothing or whether you have everything, none of that's going to work. detaching from all of life and saying that, you're spiritual because you detach from everything and, you're attached to nothing. Good job. That's gonna earn you ego points, but it's not gonna open you up to who you are, because you're doing it for the reasons of, look at me, look at what I can let go of, look at what I'm capable of or incapable of. And whether you're chasing at success and you have 1 million followers and you have thousands of likes and you have thousands of dollars, millions of dollars, and you have, properties all over the world, or you drive this car, or you dress this way, or look at who you know, look at the people that you know, or you're very, very liked and very, very appreciated in your church, in your spiritual space. It doesn't matter, because at the core of your being that doesn't matter, because you still feel like you have to work harder. You still feel like you have to push more. So, lastly, I'll say this, because there's a lot of people that are in the Christian relationship, the relationship of Christ within our field. And I have a lot of spiritual people as well. So we know it's all one. So one thing I'll say is, when people say that Christ died for our sins, what are you doing for that? What are you doing to honor that? Are you using that as an excuse, a scapegoat, to say Christ died for my sins, so I just got to ask Jesus for forgiveness? Yet you don't know who you are. Yet you don't know how to operate emotionally. You don't know how to operate and think for yourself, feel for yourself. Because yes, Scripture was written, but Scripture is not alive until you make it alive inside of yourself. And by making it alive inside of yourself, you do what Jesus did. He died to the Scriptures. He came to kill the old law, to bring the new law, which people now call New Age, right? But the new law is what Jesus said: ye all can do these things and greater in my Father's name. Is to bring the very essence of God consciousness to the highest level that shatters and obliterates and destroys old concepts, old belief systems, old traditions, old attachments. So it's not just what are you physically attached to, what are you intellectually attached to? What are you perceptually attached to? What thoughts are you attached to? Because there's something much more than you can even ever imagine. And I will follow up and I will be back. So thank you so much, everyone, for being here. I love you all. And until the next time. Oh, before we go, please tag, comment, and invite other people to hear this message. Because the fear of death is the source and the cause of all mental crises, of all mental health dis-ease. And let me just say, I'm not a doctor. I don't claim to cure, treat, diagnose anyone. However, I will say the sole disclaimer: question everything, especially you, the you that you think you are, the one that you believe that you are, the one that you've been conditioned and programmed to believe that you are. And in that conditioning, you accept conditioning outside of yourself, and therefore you don't realize the intuitive nature, the connective nature, the source nature within yourself. We're being called to let go of the old. Because if we don't let go of the old, we cannot receive what's coming through. It's coming through. There's nothing outside of us, but I say this to give an idea, because it's coming through. The heart is opening. And when the heart is opening, it's shattering heads, egos. It's shattering my head, Michael's head. I can even feel the pressure right now as I speak. I could feel the collective pressure. It's overwhelming. It's debilitating. It's like a pressure cooker that it's about to explode unless you go within. And going within, the heart opens up. The heart expands. And it destroys the ego so that it can remember that it's the servant, not the master. And there's a quote that I'll let go with this. And please schedule a call with my wife or schedule a call with the Calendly. So when I return, I'll be able to support you on your journey. And really, it's you. I'm simply serving as a mirror. The quote says, the brain makes an excellent servant, but a poor master. And this is a quote, I believe, a Hindu quote? No. I totally spaced it. I'm shifting right now. Michael's shifting. So thank you so much, everyone. Remember who you are. Remember who you are. Remember who you truly are.